Hi, this is food critic and GIS specialist Henry Haprov, and this is a quick tutorial on how to make your very own best restaurants map in your hometown by showing you how I made mine. The main purpose of this map is to show geographically where my 27 essential LA restaurants are located within Los Angeles. There are essentially three cartographic parts to this map. There is the quote-unquote base map, which is not a base map at all really, or at least in the conventional sense, but one that I constructed myself using vector data from online resources and cartographic reference map knowledge. There are the restaurant point indicators here, and finally there's the title, legend, and other map elements. So let's start with the base map. The base map took the longest to produce and get right. It's modeled after Google, since that is the most commonly used base map for online publications. But I also used a lot of my knowledge from the labels and typography unit, where we had to create a reference map. I decided to use a gray hue for the background county and state color because it is neutral and also because it illustrates an urban environment. The parks layer is a thematic green for vegetation and grass, and is also unobtrusive. And the streets that are in white, the primary streets, and the freeways and state highways are in yellow. These are also modeled after Google Maps, but play well nicely on top of the gray and the green, and are different enough in hue and color to be visible. I also have water bodies here that are in blue. This is just the data frame background to look like the ocean, changed to a blue color. And for the Los Angeles River, I have a label here in blue italic serif font. Let's see. Labels for the neighborhoods and cities. These two layers were added just for that. Their symbology is transparent, but they're added just for labeling. So since the neighborhoods are a larger scale, as in they are smaller, their labels are smaller, while the cities here are larger. Cities have larger labels. They're both a darker gray than the background with white masks. These ones have, the city labels have a little bit of character separation to make them look a little larger. And they all were converted from annotations so that they were placed around other features, especially the restaurant points. As you can see here, Los Angeles was cluttered around this area, as well as Santa Monica. Same goes for the freeway labels. These are labels that come with ArcGIS desktop, but they had to be converted to annotation so that they were placed in the right place. These roads and freeways were also generalized through selection. I had to filter down which roads and freeways were best for visualization. I didn't want a whole clutter of roads everywhere. So these ones are like the primary roads, the ones that are most important, and that give the viewer the best indication of where the restaurants are without too many streets. Next are the restaurant pointers themselves. These were created from an Excel spreadsheet. Basically what I did is I got the address from online. Well, first I picked the restaurants that I believed are the essential restaurants, found their address online, and then geocoded them using UCLA's free geocoder. I then put them in a spreadsheet with some other information, added them to Arc, as you see here, and then converted to XY data with the appropriate projection. I didn't like any of the symbols that Arc has to offer for the map markers, so I found one online, which is this red figure here, and uploaded it in the symbology builder. Since adding the map restaurants as labels looked a little cluttered and also kind of blended in with the neighborhoods labels, I decided to use a numbering system, which are colored white so that they appear clear on top of the red pins, and use the OID attribute data, and then were converted to annotations so that they could be moved appropriately on top of the marker. There was some, especially with these 23 and 27, these guys, there was some character spacing and mask related things that had to be done. Visual hierarchy was very important here. I wanted the viewer to look at the markers first to see that. So it was important that clutter was reduced in the background and that the background wasn't obnoxious. It was very simple, so that viewers are looking at the map markers first. So I think the red marker here accomplishes that visual hierarchy. Lastly came adding the map elements. Let's switch to the layout view. This may take a second to load. I wanted the title to be as legible as possible, but also aesthetically pleasing, so I chose a shadowed effect with a red to match the restaurant icons on top of a large black font. And then for the legend, I decided to omit some of the base map features because basically all maps like this online and on online publications don't show the roads and park features in the legend, and it would have just added a lot more clutter to an already very large legend. I hope it would be obvious enough for people that these were roads and this was water. For this, I decided to go with black text on a white background for functionality. I experimented with different colors, but it was always too much. Ideally, I wanted a slightly transparent background for this legend, but unfortunately ArcGIS doesn't have that capability. Finally, I added the scale bar as well as some information about the projected coordinate system and the geographic coordinate system, as well as the data sources. And I know that it's a good idea to consolidate map elements, so that is why they're all consolidated here. Finally, I exported the map and added it to my Google site. And then along with it, I added a ESRI web map presentation that has all of the points of my restaurants. And then if you click to go to the next one, it'll take you through a tour of the numbered restaurants. And if you click on this icon, you'll get a very clear, concise, and legible, entertaining information about the restaurant. Here's the name, the cuisine, price, and what to order. I hope you enjoyed this demonstration of how I made this map. Please use it to adventure through LA's exquisite dining scene. Bon appetit.